everybody, how are you doing? I'm Margaret Marie and welcome to my channel. What I have for you in this video is a complete guide to dyeing your own hair, your own gray roots at home like a professional for under $3. Not only have I been dyeing my own gray roots at home since my mid-30s, but I also have over 50 hours of color application in cosmetology school as well as out on the floor with clients. I've been using this Revlon Color Silk for years. What I like about this hair color is, of course, the price. It costs under $3. But more importantly, what I like most about it is the ingredients. With gray roots, a permanent hair dye as opposed to a semi-permanent hair dye is what you need. Semi-permanent hair dyes wash out of your hair in a few shampoos and you're left with gray hair. They're a waste of your time and money, and they're just not for gray root coverage. What you need for those gray roots is a permanent hair dye, and preferably one that doesn't use ammonia. Ammonia's primary function is to raise the pH of the hair to alkaline. What that does is open up the cuticle and allows the color to enter the cortex. In this picture of the hair shaft, you see where the cuticle is. That is the outermost part of the hair shaft. It's formed by dead cells overlapping in layers, kind of like a terracotta roof shingle. The cuticle protects the inside of your hair shaft from damage. The cortex is the middle layer in the hair shaft. It provides the strength, the color, and the texture of a hair fiber. Now let's talk a little bit about the pH scale. The average working pH of hair processed with ammonia is 10 to 11 on the pH scale. Natural hair that hasn't been processed is normally about 4 to 5 to 5.5. Ammonia-based hair colors makes hair 600 times more alkaline than its normal state. This blasting open of the cuticle makes reclosing the hair nearly impossible. This results in a major loss of protein and moisture, as well as damage and color fading. Your hair needs to be more on the acidic side of the pH scale. The pH scale is a measurement of how alkaline or acidic a substance is. Hair products like dyes and shampoos, what they do is they get in there and they cause the cuticle to open up and expand. Acidic products keep the cuticle closed so it's smooth and strong. This hair color uses ethanolamine, which is less corrosive and it's odorless. Another thing I really like about this product is that its third ingredient is oleic acid, and I'm going to tell you why I really like that. Most ammonia-free hair color lines use a synthetic source of the ethanolamide. Ethanolamide is produced by the reaction of ethylene oxide and ammonia. It has been suggested that this ingredient is really hard to remove from hair, and that's where the oleic acid comes in. Oleic acid safely removes any products left in the hair. Oleic acid is a fatty acid that's naturally produced in animals, fats, vegetable oils, stuff like that. It's a surfactant, which is essentially a degreaser for your skin. Oleic acid is also an emulsifier, so that means it provides formulations with their hydrating qualities. As an inflammatory, oleic acid also helps smooth and balance your skin. Ethanolamine and other substitutes used for ammonia all do raise your alkaline level in your hair to very high levels. Now let's take a look at the pH scale. Notice that the levels on the pH scale go from 1 to 14. 1 through 6 is acidic, 7 is neutral, and 8 to 14 is alkali. Like I mentioned before, your hair's natural pH level is between 4.5 and 5.5. So what that means is your hair is naturally acidic. So after using any hair dye, your alkali levels in your hair are going to be around 10 or 11. What I do to get my levels back down to 4.5 to 5.5 is I use an apple cider vinegar rinse. Vinegar is very acidic. It's number 3 on the pH scale, but what I do is add water to it, and what that does is it brings the levels way closer to my hair's own natural pH balance. It also seals the cuticle, so that makes your hair lay down flat and it doesn't allow the color to escape. What I do after I rinse the color out of my hair is I take about a 1/4 cup of vinegar, fill it the rest of the way with water, and then add that as a nice rinse. Let it sit in there for just a couple of minutes, and then rinse all that out. And that brings my hair back to its natural pH balance state, closes up the cuticle, seals in the color, and it just makes my hair look way better and healthier. Now I'm going to give you a few basic hair coloring tips. Tip number 1 is stick with your current hair color. Save major hair color changes for the salon. Changes from one hair color family to another require multiple processes, which is best left to a salon colorist who knows how to assess tones and minimize damage. Number 2, do a patch test. If you've never colored your hair before, or if you've never used this particular brand, you really need to do the patch test just to see what it'll do. What you do is buy 2 boxes, of course, and then what you do is mix your hair color like you normally would. What you're going to want to do after you mix the color is apply a little bit to the back of your neck just to see what kind of reaction you might get. You can do it like behind your ear or in this area somewhere. The next thing to do is find some unnoticeable hair strands, maybe back here. Follow the instructions on the box, leave it in for the allotted time, and then rinse it out and just see what the color looks like. And of course, more importantly, you could see if it left a rash or any kind of redness. Hair tip number 3 is to wash your hair 24 to 48 hours prior to coloring. The dye needs to penetrate the cuticle, so your hair needs to be free of any product buildup, especially wax. Product buildup can also prevent the dye from distributing evenly in the hair. Tip number 4, remove all of your jewelry, earrings, necklaces, anything like that. And tip number 5 would be to wear something old, a shirt that you don't mind if it gets hair coloring on. Blondes, I recommend that you go a shade darker. That way the roots will blend in better, and what you do is you pull it about 1/3 way up in your hair shaft to make it blend out better. For brunettes, go a shade lighter because box dyes can come across as inky or patchy and maybe a little too dark. I use the medium ash brown because the ash cancels out any brassy red tones. For redheads, you want to try to match the exact color and then blend it down really good so you don't have any seams. Now it's time to start the application, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it like a professional. Okay, I'm going to take out this headband. Now let's take a look at my gray. You can see that I am this is about a month and a few days after the last time I colored my hair. My hair grows a little over 1/2 inch a month, and you can see the new growth. All that gray is new growth. In cosmetology school, the first thing we did on a client was section their hair into 4 parts. All right, let's start with the first section. Come right about here on my hair, right behind my ear, like this. I'm going to twist it like this and secure it with a clippy. Okay, now I'm going to come with my comb and go all the way down the back. Same with this side. Come down right behind my ear. Okay, secure that with a clip. Okay, now this back section, and keep in mind this doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it sectioned as best as you can. This up and secure. Okay, so I've got my hair all sectioned. The next thing I'm going to do is put a border around my hairline. Vaseline is the best thing to use when doing a border around your hair because it really keeps the hair dye off of your skin. It keeps it from getting into your skin around your hairline, and it makes everything look way more natural. When you're done, you won't be left with hair dye spots that look really obvious. It won't even look like you've dyed your hair. All right, so I'm putting the border all around my hairline. I do my ears because I get a lot of hair dye on my ears and behind my ears. Okay, and do around my ears for this side, down my neck, and don't forget the back. I'm going to turn around. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is take this old towel and just put that around my neck just to keep anything from spilling or any messes. And I always like to secure these with clippies. Okay, so here we have the box of hair dye. I'm going to open it up. And this is what they give you. This is the developer, and here is the dye. This is for after coloring. This is the conditioner that comes with the box, and this smells so good. I love the way this smells. Okay, and then they give you these directions. Now, I don't need to use the directions. I've been doing this for years. If you've never dyed your roots before, if you've never colored your hair before, if you've never used this brand, it's always a good idea to read your instructions. Okay, so it comes with these gloves. pull out of there. Here's the gloves that they give you. With this boxed hair dye, you have to cut the tip off. You have to snip it off the end. It doesn't just come off. It's a $3 hair dye, so I really don't mind. All right, so you want to snip this up. Before you add hair coloring, before you do anything, you cut the top of this. You never want to put your hair dye in here with the cap not being cut off and then start trying to mix because it could explode. So we don't want that. So always cut the tip off of the cap. Okay, open it up. All right, now we have the coloring. So open this up very carefully for the hair coloring into the developer. All right, get the cap on there, put your gloved finger over the cap, and gently shake. Now don't just shake this a couple times and think, oh, it's mixed. I like to really give it a good shake. I don't want my color to be patchy, and I want the color to be rich and not diluted. Okay, the hair color's all mixed, so let's start applying. All right, the first thing I do is I make a line all the way around my hairline like this, and then just take my finger and brush it up. Now I like to pull these hairs up and make sure I get it up around the ear. And up and around the ear. All right, now we're going to start with this side. I'm going to take the clip out. Now I'm going to go right down my part like this. And brush it like that, kind of like with my finger. Okay, so take the tip of your applicator tip and start your parts up here like this, kind of like diagonally. I'm going to put some hair color here. And then bring this over here and do the other side. Great. Okay. Another part. Try to make your parts kind of thin so you can get all of your hair. You don't want to miss those grays. Okay, and then just bring it up. Like so. Bang, same thing. Okay, now I'm going to do another line right here. Okay, and I've got this underside here. And bring that down. Okay, and this you're going to just keep going in little sections like this. Get to my chair, just pull out the section. Alright, and we're just going to keep going in sections like this. If you get a little hair dye down, that's alright, just blend it in with your finger. Your sections don't have to be perfect, just sectioned. Okay. Alright, look at all that gray. All this gray disappear. And notice I'm just doing the roots. I'm not pulling the color all the way down the length of my hair. You just want to do the roots. Okay, now when I get all of this up on one side, make sure you get it right here. And bring it down. Okay, now I'm just kind of pulling the dyed hair onto the top of my head. I'm going to take out the clips in the back. Now I'm going to turn around and show you how I do the back. Okay, so I have it all on my roots. Now what I'm going to do is just look really carefully to make sure I didn't miss anything. And it looks like I could use a little more through here. All right, so giving my hair an inspection, it looks like I've got everything covered. I don't see any more gray. So I'm going to loosely pile my hair on top of my head. Now what I did is I looked at the clock when I started applying the hair color, and it was like 10:25. So you want to go by that as far as how long to leave the hair dye in. You don't want to leave it in way too long. After that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse all of the hair dye out. Then I'm going to take a cup, I'm going to fill it a quarter way with the vinegar, and then the rest of the way with cooled water. And then after that, rinse all that out, and I'm going to use the hair dyeing conditioner that came with it. Okay, so I will be back after I do all of that to show you how it came out. Okay, I am back. And as you can see, the gray is blended away right into a natural, nice, medium ash brown hair color. You can see how the hair color just blended through. Okay, and I'm going to turn around and show you the back of my hair. That is why I recommend using the Vaseline as a border, because look it, you can't see any hair dye. Nothing was left behind. It looks totally natural. You can see it has taken away all the gray. It's blended it in really well. From here, what I'm going to do is just let my hair continue to air dry. All right, so that was my complete guide on how to dye your hair at home for under $3 like a professional. You guys all have a really good rest of your day. You take care, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.